And we talked a lot about the difficulties with ego and money, fame. What was in your career so far? Inshallah, there's a lot more years to come. What was the most difficult test that you had to overcome to become a successful da'i?
I believe when I started doing Dawah, I remember in 2008 when we did the second conference. It was the largest conference in the world. There were some of the Muslims of a different sect. They complained against us. And at that time, the conference was going to get cancelled. So that was like, the biggest jolt in my life for Dawah. My conference, this main event in the year, spending $5 million, I'm going to get cancelled at that time. And we didn't know what to do. So I just went to my room in my cabin, I prayed to Allah that. The next day, the Home Minister's son from the capital Delhi comes and he touches my feet. He says, he's my fan. I said, don't touch the feet. And then the conference goes on. Then I realized that was just a tip of an iceberg. What I thought that time was the biggest problem in my Dawah. Problems 1,000 times more came after that. But my life was cool. So I realized that was Allah training me. At that time, it's the biggest event, and $5 million at stake is going to go, and all my everything, all done, is going to be cancelled. And all the speakers have come out to do. So that was like something like as though I'm going to die. Somewhat similar to that. After that, things 10 times worse happened, many incidents everywhere in the world. But the life became more calm, just leave it to Allah. Strive hard. After that, I do hijrah. So when we did hijrah, we left all our wealth behind, we left our full organization behind. And we came to Malaysia, and then, we were all my full family. My family has been trained. They've stayed in the best of hotels in the world, 7 stars. They've slept on the floor. I have 1 son, 2 daughters, and a wife, and all of them are da'i. When we go to conferences, my son and me, we give lectures to the mixed audience, and my wife and my 2 daughters, to ladies. So we always have a Venn diagram,
Sure.
That Venn diagram that, when I started doing Dawah, they said, once you get married, khalas. So that time I have to spend maybe about, 9 hours in Dawah. Yeah. So when I'm married, I married a person who's a da'i. She's a da'i.
The whole family are da'is.
No, of course. So that married, so then I have to give, instead of 8, 9 hours, I had to give 11 hours. So they said, when you have children, so then I started Islamic school. So then I started giving about 14 hours, in a day, 15 hours a day. So it's a Venn diagram. So that's how, mashallah. So Allah has blessed us. Alhamdulillah. So the time they have come. So because of this whole situation that we should not be dependent on money, we depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, when we did hijrah, everything gone. But believe me, we didn't, none in the family even bat an eyelid. Alhamdulillah. We came here, there we had a very good house, a very good, beautiful scenery, but this is better. Of course, the house in Bombay is more expensive being in Bombay. But mashallah, so, and people, mashallah, the amount of respect they gave us, they called us everywhere. Many people said, hey, okay, now you're left, okay, we'll give you $25,000 a month. I don't require that amount. I'll give you $100. They're asking me. That now you have left everything. You want, I'll give you. I said, Jazakallah, what you want? Fund the organization, not me. And yet we kept with the same thing, mashallah. So we have maintained with the same style, that same level. And Allah has been very kind. But the level of Dawah increased more. Our appearance on the social media increased. And our meeting and trying to solve the problems all over the world, what's happening in different parts of the world. We are trying to, whatever way we can help. Alhamdulillah.
I don't want to keep you too long. I know the Maghrib's coming up. I want to ask you one more because sure. you make so many new reverts, alhamdulillah. What is the perspective that in your eyes reverts have that born Muslims don't have? Is there a different lens that reverts see Islam through?
Yes, when the advantage of there are 2 types of revert. One revert has become a revert maybe because of love marriage. Okay. Many of time they become Muslim only because they loved a Muslim girl, but then they become more practicing than Muslim many times. And sometimes they remain. Those reverts who have studied and have, got impressed, and then, alhamdulillah, one of the major reasons is Tawheed. Tawheed.
The most important.
Oneness.
Yeah, oneness.
And believing that all Muslims are equal. Of course, when they come, they may find some differences in the teaching rather than the practices. Depending on which country they accept Islam. But I always say that when a person becomes a revert, wherever possible, let one Muslim be like a family member. Like for example, revert comes, he may have difficulties going to pray, going alone, he's a new person, he may not have support from the family. There should be one person Like if he's a gent, let there be a Muslim brother. If it's a female, let the Muslim sister be with them at least for 6 months as a family member. That means you can call them 24/7. So at least he's comfortable. And he sees the atmosphere and then the organization is there. Just giving shahada and leaving them, then we go back. So the difference that I find that the person who accepts Islam on average is a better practicing Muslim than a person who is average Muslim. Average, yeah? If you take an average Muslim from India, an average revert to become the revert, he is more practicing than an average Muslim. There may be some reverts are bad, some reverts are very good, but average. Because they have chosen Islam by choice.